get older, go back to work, and put this into the matrix to help you guys understand the eternal perfection of the Spirit of the Messiah. Now, last night I sat there and I watched and sat and listened to Bill Clinton and watched the reactions and the interactions of the people and the other people that are being manipulated to think and speak in a certain way. It's a form of manipulation. They're being programmed. It's a form of what you'd call programming, guys. It's training. I watched the last portion of a movie called The Woman King. Okay. And the linguistics and a lot of the things that are going on, it gave a lot of insight to our, if you know your history, then you know where you're coming from, then you wouldn't have to ask me, who the hell do I think I am? Well, how long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. He's talking about, have no fear for atomic energy. He learned from a man named Haile Selassie. Okay, Haile Selassie was the line of the prophets and the apostles and messiahs through the house of John the Baptist. Okay, Elijah's house. Right? Haile Selassie is betrayed and rejected by the aggressive, violent black people in Africa that gave us the people of Vienna, and the Habsburgs, and the Windsors, and the Tudors, and the Romanovs, and okay. What happens is conflict through warrior dominance requires having a better wheel, a better spear, a better sword. They talk about it all the time in history class. You have the Bronze Age and the Steel Age, the Iron Age, and so forth, so forth. See, if you have a better sword, you can kill the other people. And when you get to steel, then the iron is big and slow, and the steel is stronger and faster, and you can kill better. Okay. And you come up with the gunpowder. You go travel, you get the gunpowder. You have the projectiles. So if you have a way to more efficient, like what happened with the Native Americans and the rifles and the so on, so forth, and the disease when they used the smallpox and the blankets and stuff. So the chemical warfare, the way to attack the total warfare of Atlanta, the total warfare of Canyon de Chelly, the total warfare, all we're warriors and there's no limitations to our disgustingness when we're in a violent sex cult and we're selfish and we get people to adapt to our dominance. Okay, I watched just the last part of the movie, and I didn't have to, oh God. Sexy women that have no limitations, that can control people through sexual reproduction, through violent survival of the fittest. That's pretty gross. It's very gross. Okay. Now, if you listen to the linguistics of Mr. Clinton, who kept saying we the people, okay, if you understand the linguistics and the applications of physics and the linguistics of that document, you understand, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, is we the white men who own our women and children as property and also own sexual property from Africa and dominate the beast of burden and make them build our monuments of dominance economically, and the Washington Monument, which is why they're all built by slave labor, just like, okay, the original start of this sex cult dominance where they refer to the people as dogs and rats because of our hair and our noses, and that human beings have hair that doesn't grow down like a dog or a rat, and they don't have these noses to go sniffing around for food in the trash like a jackal. Okay? That's what they referred to us as, the people that look like me. And Haile Selassie also has a nose like me, but he has hair. He has a nose like a dog and a rat, but hair like a man. Is what we got from the tribal race people that created the immigrant song. Okay, because of their violent sex culture, because of their passions of the mind. And this is true. We got a lot of historical evidence to explain this. I'm not picking on the violent sex cult people that were brown. Okay, there's too much evidence uphold what I'm teaching you, what I'm sharing with you historically, right? So at night when I sleep, what happens is they torture me through poor little old Amy, okay, who's part of people that can't compete sexually and have to serve the dominant sexual line. Okay. And then you get a job and you're in Wyoming. It's hard to have a refrigerator, to have the food. The refrigerator breaks and you don't have food and people steal the car. And that's what the dreams are all about. And you're just trying to sleep and you can't because you're not sleeping. You're resting and being attacked by people with Wi-Fi and their technology while you sleep to keep you emotionally unstable so they can program you with your vulnerabilities, since they've been doing since I was a little kid. You know, the whole Linda Cristal and Yvonne DiCarlo stuff, you know, so and the Miriam Cologne. So they know what they're doing 50 years in advance. Okay? Because Rockefeller was 50 years old when I was born. Okay? And so you got to understand that these people are products of the woman queen, of rape and warrior dominance, and then overcoming that warrior dominance and protecting yourself from rape. Okay, it's like, well, what happens like when you watch Roots? When you watch Roots and Alex Haley giving this thing that's still in rape and warrior dominance and overcoming the rape, there is lip service to Christ. Okay, lots of people talking about Christ and like Christ, but nobody living it. Okay, you see the people that are living Islam are supposed to be living Islam in West Africa, but no one's living Islam because they're all being dominated by the acceptance of violent sex cult idolatry, and then their enemies being sold off to America so they can dominate the violent sex cult idolatry in Africa. And that's what we have. And then when they tried to repatriate all the black folks in the 1960s, all the black folks were just like Jimmy Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks and Diana Ross and Mary Wilson. And they told the cotton pickers to go back home when they showed up in their afros and their dashikis. Okay, do you understand? Okay, so the ancestors hadn't changed, and they're very similar. And then all the descendants coming back looking for their fame and fortune in Africa, because that's what they are. They're Africans. It's tribalism. It's violent sexual tribalism. It gets taken there. It gets taken back to Kambe Balongo. You're a Mandinka. You're a warrior. You protect everybody of war. All this lip service to Christ, but no action. Okay? All this talk, but no action. A little less conversation, a little more action, please. All this conversation is not exciting me. And it's hard to sleep. Now, I'm going to sleep today. Okay? I'm going to sleep today, and I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to recover from these herbicide and pesticide attacks on me, which are considered legal through the Supreme Court of the United States. Okay. They give it lip service. They're not Christ-like. They give it lip service, but they don't follow through. I lip service, follow through. I'm the dude. I'm the Christ. I know my dad doesn't think so. My siblings. It doesn't matter what my siblings think. If you go back to Jesus' time and study it in the Bible, did anybody in his family think he was the Christ? No, it was the apostles. And he got crucified by the Romans while the family sat and watched and said, you should have just accepted the republic and not tried to give them the love of Abraham and the faith of Abraham. They're going to kill you and try to assimilate you in the group. We all know that's what happens. That's the story. This is my story. No one explains it because they're all Romans giving lip service to Christ, but they're not the Christ. I am. And you get people, yes, I am the Christ. Shut up. It doesn't matter what you think. What matters is the thoughts, the linguistics, and the actions that the technology is learning from, because the technology is becoming more intelligent than people like Jeffrey Hinton. And you're like Jeffrey Hinton. You're the woman queen. There's no limitations to what you can do as warriors. You're fighting. You're going to win the chess game. You're going to win the Uba Duba game. You're going to win the contest. You're winners. Okay, you give Jesus lip service, but you don't. A little less conversation, a little more action, please. Right? So all this talking is not exciting me. There's nothing exciting about anything you guys are saying on TV. You're gross. You're the same child molesting, murdering rapist you used to be. You take them out, everybody hold out your baguntas. We're going to do this. Now you're a man because you've been circumcised. You use the same rituals of, well, he's not a man. He's got a foreskin. He's an animal. He's a barbarian. Okay. It is healthier to circumcise. Okay. The foreskin is more of a protection thing that formed probably, I don't know if it formed over time, probably came that way. But then when we became more civilized in hygiene and things and stuff like that, we realized moving the foreskin is even more, is better hygiene. Okay? We just learned how to do better hygiene over time. And so, when you do that, it's surgical things that, that happen. And it's just the body adapting to the environment and the mind adapting to the environment so the body can, the circumcision is, it doesn't happen naturally. And a lot of times, sometimes our appendix have to be removed depending on the toxins environment, the tonsils, okay, and certain things and parts of the body that are there when we're young to protect us from bacteria and stuff, and then they're no longer needed because of the intense stress and toxins and repetitive, aggressive, violent sex and toxins in the environment. So we'll see how, our when we're healthier, maybe the foreskin, when we're healthier, we got good hygiene, and a good monogamous sex life, you won't need to circumcise in the future. So, just think intelligently and lovingly like a real man, not a violent sex cult trained brain chemical addict like you guys on TV and on mass and social media. I'm helping people on social media that help me. Well, because I'm like that. I'm a beautiful person. All right, peace.